So this is not cold stabilization.
No, no. Everything here is the entire process is done in 6 weeks. We don't take it through the third stage of fermentation. We don't do the cold stabilization that a lot of wineries do out there. We do everything in a static room. We try and keep the temperature at, is that 70 degrees?
That's 70.
Hallelujah. It works.
There we go.
Well, so let me ask you this. Okay, I'll just be real brief on this, but cold stabilization, you'll put the wine through that process so that when people see the wine cold, it's not going to get cloudy on you.
Right.
So what's the stabilization that you're doing here? What's it going to achieve? What's the purpose?
It really starts, so it puts the yeast in stasis, and it starts the clarification process. So that isinglass, that bonding agent, pulls together the molecules that are, over 10 microns.
So they can look at their glass and see that it's going to be clear. There's nothing floating in it.
Right. And if I had a white wine, well, here's one right here. Hold that thought.
Oh, there we go.
This will be great.
There you go. And again,
so you can see down at the bottom all of the lees that has settled out. Now, I stabilized this a day ago, so in another 3 days, it'll really start to clarify, and you'll see a broad band of lees at the bottom.
Will this wine get cloudy once it's chilled?
No, because after this, so we do the next stage is a rack to clear stage where we remove all that lees, and we lose about a half a bottle there. We talked about that. That's why you only get 28.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then we filter. We use a 2.5 micron filter on our white, so it really polishes it up nice.
I noticed you got here too, Keith. These wood chips.
That was going to be my question. Where are the oak barrels? Everybody's saying.
Well, I'll let Derek talk about it, but it makes a lot of sense. The expense. An oak barrel can cost you today, depending on where it comes from, anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a barrel. But in this case, they're using these oak chips. My question is, can you reuse this bag of oak chips? I mean, if I was the consumer, I came in here, I made my wine, I'm going to be too cheap and I don't want to buy this again. Can I reuse it?
Yeah, no, not really. What I was taught was, oak will only allow the wine to penetrate about 2 millimeters. So most of the barrels are used maybe twice or 3 times at a winery, and then they're shipped off to Kentucky for bourbon, or they're recharred, or a number of processes. In this, what we're doing here is multiplying the surface area of the oak to produce that oak flavor in the wine much quicker. I do use these a second time, but it's when I smoke meat at home. So,
there you go.
Yeah, when I'm doing pheasants or something like that.
Oh, really good, yeah.
And it's fantastic because the oak goes up into the bourbon.
And your customers could do
wine.
that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And can we use it again in the wine? No.
And I want to really make clear to our viewers that oak chips are not uncommon in giving oak flavor to wine.
Well, at one time, now I think the laws have changed, but in the United States, if a wine said that it was oak aged, it had to come from a barrel, but not necessarily from other countries. So in Australia, 20 years ago, it was common actually to take oak extract out of a liquid in the bottle, and you start dropping it in to get those flavor characteristics. So they didn't have to go through the expense of buying those barrels. So in the States, they couldn't do that, but I think someone's told me, wineries told me recently that they can do that now if they want. They don't have to go through the expense of actually paying for oak barrels.
I've heard stories of the 50,000 gallon stainless steel vat, behind the curtain with oak 4x4s down submerged in the vat.
Yeah.
And that way they can oak it to taste, and like you said, the cost, instead of having to charge the consumer $50 for that bottle of wine, they can get that oak flavor in the wine for $10.
Same thing can be done with the barrel that you were talking about, used 2-3 times, in some cases 5 times. But they'll actually strip those down and dip those into those barrels, or the stainless steel, to get the wood character.
Sure.
So is that the whole process, pretty much, when somebody comes in?
Well, we stabilize for a couple of weeks. We do the rack to clear and let it clear again for a couple of weeks. Then we run it through the filtration process.
Okay.
And at that point, it's ready for the clients to bottle.
They just come in.
Is there anything exciting that we can show as far as the filtration? I mean, is that?
Yeah, no, not really.
Not really.
Not really. I mean, you're running wine through a 3-stage paper filter. Like I said, we do a 2.5 micron filter on our whites and a 5 micron on the reds. The reason it's 5 micron on the reds is 2.5 will actually take the pigment out of the wine and turn it pink. Nobody wants a pink Chateauneuf.
Right.
Not good.
No. So let's so wrapping up here. Let's talk about first of all mention your website again.
www.water2wine.us, and that's the number 2.
Okay, Water2Wine.
Correct.
.us. Not .com, not .net. .us.
We just got .com, and that'll be coming online here pretty soon.
Okay, so look for that too. And then, so I'm the consumer. I'm watching this, and I want to make 26 bottles. You said 28 bottles.
Yep.
So the price range is gonna. Is there a range of prices? I mean, it can go from.
Yeah. So on our retail wines, we range from $9.95 to $26.95 with our label on.
Right.
When a client comes in and makes their own wine, they sidestep the majority of the alcohol tax. So the price with your label on it drops down to about $8 a bottle, up to $17.50.
Okay. And you have to have that number, 26 bottles.
Because we're doing 6 gallons at a time.
Right.
Now, a lot of people will come in with multiple couples.
Right.
And they'll do multiple batches, and then we'll mix and match.
Right.
So you could bring in 2 friends and make 3 batches of wine and go home 45 days later with 9 bottles of 3 kinds of wine.
That's
your label on it.
Yeah, it's great. But there's no splitting the 6 gallons into 3 gallons, right?
No.
Okay.
No, we tried to do that, and the half batch process is hard.
Yeah, not good. So I think that's it. Did we cover the process?
I think we got it all.
I think we did too.
I think it's time for a glass of wine.
I agree. And
thank goodness we have some.
And Derek's got a whole lineup out there at his bar when you walk in.
Well, I don't know if you showed our viewers, but he's got a whole room full of wine that's fermenting in here.
It's crazy. So
that's a college experiment gone horribly wrong.
We say come down to Water2Wine in Centennial. It's basically on County Line and University, right, Derek?
Yes, it's about a half a block north of County Line on the east side of University.
Okay, very good. You're in close to Highlands Ranch, just a little bit north of there.
Yeah.
So for now,
I'm Brian,
and I'm Keith,
and I'm Derek,
and this is DenverWineGuys.com. Thanks for watching, and come down to Water2Wine. Go to his website, www.water2wine.us. And U.S. Sorry. Not USA. That's okay. We are in the USA, though. That's probably another thing coming in the internet. So thanks for viewing, and we will see you again. Thanks a lot.